Hello. Hi. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just, I can see on the music I'm playing from YouTube. Basically, Shift Monkey has a soundtrack with a load of the Star Citizen music in. Bam, really useful. I can see my own stream in there. It's weird. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just drinking my coffee. In that for a couple of seconds. Oh. And then we'll start the stream proper, have a little chat, and talk about some Star Citizen stuff as well. Oh, I suppose we can start the stream. It'll just be slower. You can see my face, and we can start talking, but it'll be coffee based. Oh no, my head's gone. Oh, now the whole stream's gone. GG. Is this what you wanted? There we go. Perfect. Look at this. Perfection of man. Here. Just beautiful. Hi. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks very much for the sub. That is genuinely appreciated. So, we'll start just by chatting in general and chilling. I've got a coffee I'd like to drink. It's pretty full still. I've had a really, really long week and long. They're just. Admittedly, the days and the weeks and everything are just as long as any other day or week, technically and actually. But I've just been burning the candle at both ends, not sleeping very well. My cat just constantly wakes me up. She's very old and blind. Wants constant attention and like open the door, close the door, show her to the food bowl, stuff like that, just all the time. So every 2 hours I'm getting woken up as if I have like what I assume is a newborn baby, and that sort of level of care. Or something similar. I don't know. I know. But yeah, so it's extremely tired. I've started a 3D printing business. At the moment, selling wargaming miniatures because that's what I play and like. I've done something similar to Tomb Kings from the old world. Got a license to sell some of these sort of alternative miniatures, those sort of war games, and yeah, that's taking a reasonable amount of time. I bought a big Jupiter 3D printer, a Lego Jupiter, and haven't set it up yet. I've had it for like over a week now. I'm just sitting downstairs in a giant box. It is absolutely massive. But I've been using my Saturn 3 to print stuff in the meantime. Yeah, so that's getting a bit busier. I run a collectibles company online as well, so that's taking a reasonable amount of my time. And it's getting to the end of the tax year, so taxes and things become. And worried about finances and stuff at the moment. I'm also house hunting, so this is the thing that's taking up a load of my time at the moment. House hunting, potentially moving up to Leeds. So I'm going up next week to see some of my mates in Manchester, see some CIG mates as well. And then there's a bar citizen the next day. And then I'm going to Leeds the day after and staying with a mate while I do a load of house viewings. So I've just been organising mortgages and conveyances and stuff with the estate agent. And it just, as well as playing Pal World, which takes any amount of free time I can to play with, because my mates want to play it, so we will only play it when we're all together. It's I'd say it like it's a big group. There's only 3 of us. It's me, Zin, and her best mate Kit, who I was best boy at the wedding. I wasn't best man. I was chief bridesmaid botherer. I gave a speech. I gave a speech at the wedding. I think I took the place of father of the bride. Well, I won't get too much into the details of people that you don't know particularly well. Kit is somewhat known in the Star Citizen community by certain orgs because she does voice. She previously has done voice work for them for orgs and stuff like that, and has ages ago in the past done some audio lore videos for me before Zin, significantly before Zin. Yes, cats certainly hate closed doors. I agree. Cynthia, I've been out of the loop Star Citizen the past year, but I know I can always count on your videos for info. Appreciate it. No worries at all. What I should try and do is every month do a, maybe every quarter, do a where are we with Star Citizen, or as if you, for both new backers and people that are going back to the project, right? That's probably quite a good idea. Because, okay, I'm happy to do news, which is effectively regurgitated information from CIG and other little bits and dev responses and stuff like that all compiled, right? Happy to do that. But I'd like to do some additional stuff beyond what we already do to give the channel and the sort of BoredGamer as a brand a bit more, not clout, a bit more brand identity strength. So I'll be looking for stuff in the future like that. And we'll be doing some stuff, a lot more stuff in game as well. The game has a lot to offer now. I love regurgitating. Well, so the thing about news, yeah, is if you want to be relatively neutral in your newscasting, it is mostly regurgitation and a bit of expanded context. And that's basically what I do for my news videos. Give a bit of expanded context. Is there anything else that you need to know? And this is what CIG is saying this week. There are summaries and that sort of stuff, but we do a reasonable amount of other stuff and deep dives into whatever takes my fancy, hot topics at the time. But yeah, I'm just exhausted at the moment. So I've got a video ready to go, just a basically compiled news of the week, which will go live later today in like a couple of hours or something. I'm going to have a nap straight after stream. Although I do have a call coming from a mortgage broker, so maybe I should do that first before sleeping. Yeah, enough of me complaining and whining. I'm bored. Oh, you play computer games and build 3D models for your jobs and enjoy it, and you'll work for yourself. Oh, boo hoo. How does that fucking avocado toast taste like? Okay, yeah, that's fair. Very, very middle class, first world problems. Yeah, but you're here. You're listening. Your fault now. But yeah, Star Citizen. Ask the questions if you want. Question in brackets in the stream. That will allow you to ask a question. Robert Johnston, thank you very much for continuing to support the stream. 68 months. I can't believe I had the ability to become a member on my channel for that long. That's ridiculous. It wouldn't allow me to tell you to feck off. How rude, I know. Right? It's appreciated. You're a star. Thank you very much. I saw some of my other friends in the sort of that have been so there's a dude in the community that's a big supporter of the channel that I'm relatively good friends with, and he disappeared for a while that I've just see start to turn up again. So hopefully I'm going to see him back on the channel and be more active. Samayati, thank you very much for being here. Genuinely appreciate it, sir. You are a beautiful boy, and you know that. I don't tell my mods when I'm streaming. I normally stream on Fridays at the moment, but decided not to. Because I was too tired. There was too much going on. There was all this. What was going on? Lots of things. Robert Johnston, thank you very much for gifting 5 memberships to people. That's appreciated. I like money. That's money. We've just done a... Well, let's do one thing at a time, because we've got Init audio and stuff as well. So Init, which is an audio immersion product. But that I was promoting recently, which I quite liked, and I thought has its uses. But obviously, some audiophiles are going to be very much sort of like, no, just use the audio in game, tweak it. There's no need for additional sort of spatial effects. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was useful. But yeah, so what's been happening? Alpha 3.22.1 has gone live. So that patch has got some fixes in it. It's got some stuff ready for the Xenothreat pre-event, sort of Overdrive initiative. And I suppose, not just the pre-event, it sort of connects Xenothreat raids together as well. Sort of makes sense, and gives people a lot more to do that they don't have to necessarily do in a giant group like they would with Xenothreat. I quite liked that. I thought that was quite a cool thing. Got GravLab races, got loads of Master Mode updates. So Master Modes, if people want to ask questions about Master Modes, cool as well. Obviously, CIG are trying to make everyone feel like a badass and bring up the skill floor a bit. They still want a high skill ceiling, but a lot of the stuff they're doing is potentially reducing the height of that ceiling. But we don't know until we actually play with it, because there's a lot of cool stuff people will then be able to go, no, actually, there's a load of depth here still at the higher end. I don't think they want ace pilots to be able to take on 12 other pilots, though. They sort of made turrets a load more dangerous as well, and there's the precision targeting mode, precision aiming, and that allows you to sort of target subsystems of ships, which is awesome, which is essential for the engineering gameplay as well. I was like really, really happy to see that. And master modes being tested in the 3.22.1 at the moment in Arena Commander, but they're coming in 3.23, the next major patch. And experimental mode for engineering is also coming in 3.23. That's amazing. That's such big news. So I'm super excited for all of that. Okay, as an occasional pilot and someone that's not, I'm okay at PvP. So, okay, anyone that is a PvP connoisseur will beat me. But anyone that is not a regular PvP player, I've got a very good chance against in Star Citizen. And others that I can see that are better than me, I will run from. Yeah, so it's an interesting thing that they've done with master modes. It's a fundamental change to everything. It makes everything feel a bit more arcadey and streamlined. They want everything to be pretty and close and not jousty. They want to be able to see the effects of the weapons and the impacts on the ships and them getting damaged and destroyed. So they want the visuals to be a huge part of it. I do think that some people aren't gonna like what the direction of it. I am going to see Dune Part 2 on the 1st of March, up in Manchester, in fact. I have not seen Part 1 yet. I've seen the original, and many moons ago I read the first 3 books of Dune. I got up to the Children of Dune. I was thinking it might actually be just the second book. Maybe the third. I can't remember. It's been a long time. I absolutely love Dune as a sort of sci-fi opera. One of my favourite games of all time is Dune 2. One of Zin's favourite games of all time is Dune. Absolutely loves that game. But I will be watching. I'm planning to watch Dune on the train up to Manchester, if possible. Can someone explain the whole ships disappearing after you buy them thing? So, are you talking when it comes from patch to patch? So, basically, in the latest patch notes for 3.22.1, they said, look, if you don't, and they keep on warning people, if you don't put a ship that you've bought, you don't spawn it and then put it back into storage, the long-term persistent database might not have stored that information that you actually had that ship. and therefore might not carry over. That, from now on, should not be an issue from what I understand. So from 3.22.1 onwards, you shouldn't have the same issue with that. You shouldn't have to spawn a ship and then put it back in the and then store it for it to be in the LTP database. But it's just on the latest patch notes. And it's almost certainly on the known issues as well, which I will link you. No. Of what was promised during CitizenCon, how much will CIG actually manage to deliver this time? Or in time? I'd say even if it's 50%, it's a win. If they get 50% out, it's a win. So they said they wanted it in some form, or at least the start of it, in our hands by the end of 2024. All the stuff they showed. So I think they can get pretty much all they showed in, except for base building, right? So they showed a sort of render of base building rather than any form of gameplay to it. Now, if they get base building gameplay in any shape or form, it's going to be sort of like land claims. It's going to be building bases by hand. It's going to be very, very, very small scale, in my opinion. Very basic. But everything else, I think, is very likely. Squadron 42, I think there will be a release date announced at CitizenCon. But everything they showed and said that they were planning to get in Star Citizen, including stuff from the Star Engine, including potentially the animals as well, including the Star Whales, I think it's a strong possibility. Do you think bases built in safer zones will still have a chance of being attacked by fauna? I hope so. So there's going to be maintenance costs, and there might be quests and missions associated with maintaining your base. They might still be able to degrade if you don't look after them. So potentially to some degree, I still they're going to be certainly safe from PvP in safe zones. Do you think they'll ever do events catered to non-org players or players whose friends don't play Star Citizen because it's starting to feel that they really don't care about them? So, yes. There's loads of gameplay that caters to that already, like just random bounty hunts. So there's a huge amount of gameplay from hauling, cargo deliveries, all that sort of stuff. There's tons that just cater for single players, just flying around the verse. Loads of it, bunker missions and stuff. But there's also missions that scale up to doing in groups, and obviously a lot of the stuff they want to do at the moment is with capital ships and groups and stuff like that as well. Now, you can form groups in-game, on the fly. You don't have to be part of an org. There's going to be, obviously, systems to allow you to do that a bit better in the future. It looks like we've got hauling missions as part of 3.23. But yeah, I think there's a reasonable amount of gameplay there already, and I don't think they're just focusing on org and group gameplay. At least in my opinion. How are you doing? Is it me or is the recent patch very crashy? I haven't had a crash in 3.22.1 yet. Has the bottle adapter on the Jupiter worked well? Mine keeps jamming. It's still in its box at the moment. Thank you very much for that donation, by the way, Robert Johnston. That's genuinely appreciated, sir. So I've got the Jupiter SE, the new version of it, so the non-metal one, basically. The one that weighs about half as much. If you'd like to ask a question during the stream, just question in brackets. I will come to it at some point. Do you expect CIG to give Star Citizen an AI chatbot? So they were asked about it, and they said there were no plans to. In the future, maybe. AI is a very powerful tool for a huge amount of stuff, right? So will CIG use AI in the future? Potentially. It's great for tools, right? I don't think we are quite there yet with AI in games, though. Is this Idris event just going to be like the F8C event, where the majority of us will never be able to see it, and it seems like only streamers get to play and win the prizes? So it certainly favours large orgs and, well, anyone that's got a large org. So obviously streamers effectively have a large org, and it just so happens that they're going to be the centre of attention in that org. So they're going to be the person that sits in the seat or whatever. Well, they're not necessarily. I suppose they could have another org member there, and they're filming and playing. So there are cases where solo players and small groups are able to wrestle these Idrises away from large groups or whatever, or sneak on board and do some stuff. But yes, I would expect the winner to be in a very large org that were relatively militarized with it, or a streamer. You're still going to be able to get involved. You're still going to be able to play, and it's still possible. It's still possible that a non-streamer will win. Because the platinum ticket event, yes, a lot of these went to orgs, to big orgs, and to streamers and stuff, but a lot of them didn't, or at least some didn't. Thoughts on the G12 touring vehicle not being able to fit inside the 400i touring? So, I mean, it's fine with me. It was supposed to, the 400i is supposed to work with the X1 series. That's how it was sort of sold, right? It would be cool if it did fit. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. I never expected it to. Have you tried Helldivers 2 yet? Not yet. I will be at some point. So at the moment, in my spare time, I am playing, when I'm not building models and doing 3D printing stuff, is one of my favourite games now, a Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Oh, I love survival-like games. It is so good for a survival-like game. You're a little dwarf running around, mining, with lots of enemies attacking you, and you have to get through the stages and buy lots of upgrades. Absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. Highly recommend it if you like any form of survival-like game. So survival-likes are basically, you've got loads of weapons, and there's loads of enemies, and it's bullet heaven games kind of thing. So you're basically making loads of powerful weapons and trying to cover the screen in lots of bullets and things while trying to survive. So it's about your combos and stuff that you make. Robert Johnston, thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, I was hoping to still need turrets in safe zones or some form of PvE to keep things interesting. That is quite possible, that there might still be PvP encounters and stuff at bases, right? But it's also possible at safe zone bases that they go, actually, you're safe. Anyway, off to bed now. Keep the noise down. Good night, and please fuck off board. Thank you so much, buddy. Genuinely appreciated, and I love your money. So get some good sleep. I'm jealous of the sleep. Although, as I said, I'm going to nap pretty quickly after the stream. Why can't I close? Okay. I was about to go lose my shit there. I couldn't work out how to close a message. No, I have not played Helldivers 2 yet. I'm playing a Deep Rock Galactic Survivor and Pal World at the moment. So Pal World with my mates. Enjoying Pal World. But again, it's quite tiring, Pal World, because there's so much going on. I will be watching Dune Part 1 first, obviously. I'm not just going to go watch Dune Part 2. I'm going to watch Dune Part 1 on the train up. Yeah, so when CIG were talking about the distribution centres, they were sort of like, yes, potentially in the future we'll have distribution centre control and stuff like that. That's something they might be thinking about, right? They think the idea is cool. The same way they think like derelict ones are cool. Any comments, calming words for players, not me, that think Star Citizen is turning into COD? I'm aware of affecting aspects like combat so they can move to other features with vigor. So it's not going to be like Call of Duty or anything like that. They are making it a bit more arcadey and streamlined. Yes, it's kind of essential, right? I suppose it's not essential. It's essential that they can get a product out at some point, and I do think that they want a game, a space combat game that is relatively accessible, that's not true sim, but has depth to it if you want to play it at a more simmy level. But we'll have to see where it's going, right? I'm trying master modes out in 3.22.1. I mean, I'd like a bit more of that streamlined combat in FPS at the moment as well. I don't want it to go hugely towards the COD direction, because I'm not a fan of COD. I used to be quite a big fan of Battlefield. I used to be a fan of Call of Duty 1 and 2. Tell my age. Thank you so much, Jim Broker. Very much appreciated. I like money, and you've subscribed or Twitch or something. I can see it goes beep 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 beep. Money is incoming. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm not expecting. Star Citizen may be getting a bit more streamlined in some areas. I think that will potentially be significantly better for actually getting out a game. It's still going to have some of that highly detailed elements that people wanted and expected. Are you planning to go to CitizenCon in Manchester this year? Yes. So, CitizenCon has been announced to being on a 2-day event again on the 19th and 20th of October. I've already booked, well, I provisionally booked some form of apartment or hotel or something, just a panic bought, because I thought we might get some offers of better accommodation from some orgs or people that invite us, maybe. I have been previously invited to CitizenCons by another orgs and stuff. I was like, well, we'll get somewhere, and we'll make sure we get it quickly so that we don't have to pay ridiculous prices for hotels or whatever. So, Zin and I will definitely be going. Well, we're planning on going. Very excited this year. Likely to have CitizenCon. Squadron 42 announcements, right? And things like that. Thank you very much. Travel the map. Thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. Do you think we are getting a release date for Squadron 42 at CitizenCon? Yes. Yes. At minimum. They are sure hyping the event, or are they setting it up for failure? Not meeting expectations. Yeah. I would be sad and sort of like be like, oh, if they didn't have Squadron 42 release date at CitizenCon. That would disappoint me for sure. To me, it feels like they're 100%. No, it's 99%. It's 2%. No, it's a 99% likely they're going to have Squadron 42 release date announcement. And if Chris Roberts comes on stage, he goes, well, we've got some good stuff. Oh, look at it. Oh, we've got some cool demos and everything. But we're not quite ready to release the Squadron 42, to say the release date quite yet until we shore up some... Oh, Chris. You're getting older, Chris. Release the game, Chris. Do you think 3.23 will be a repeat of 3.18, as in breaking the game? No. So, the... Why would it break the game in the same way as 3.18? So, 3.18 had back-end stuff that was the cause of the breaking of the game. 3.23, although could have the replication layer coming in later, which could potentially cause server disruption when it's first released. Well, potentially could just be significantly better. No, it's extremely tiny, the chance that 3.23 would be as terrible as 3.18 release. 3.18 was unacceptable, the sort of delays and stuff it caused. I mean, they needed to get stuff done, yes. I'm trying to think, was it January 23 that it came out? It came out in March 23. Is that... Okay, 3.18 was delayed like a huge amount. I suppose we had it earlier in the year in PTU form. Yeah, that was a bad time. But the stuff with PES and persistent entity streaming. They sort of needed to get it in, and they knew it was going to cause some disruption, not as much disruption and destruction as it did actually happen. Yeah, it was 3.18, and persistent entity streaming was terrible. I don't think replication layer is the same sort of catastrophic turn on and off, but it could be catastrophic for the servers if all the servers break with the replication layer and they can't fix it. Yeah. I think that's very unlikely. And they're doing much more in the way of rigorous testing, yeah? But I mean, that sort of stuff, sort of fine to talk about and chat about, right? Like, it's important to these sort of concerns. Have you heard Will Ferns are now the best chairs? What? Over... Are we talking about actual chair chats? Like, better than Herman Miller? How's the new home search? I'm having my villa built and the framing is occurring now. Pretty exciting. Awesome. I wish I could afford a villa. It's ramping up. Lots of organisation, lots of sorting out mortgage, lots of sorting all that sort of stuff out. And doing proper viewings and hoping to put an offer in early March on a home. It's not going to be my dream home, but it's going to be a nice-ish home that I can set up into a streaming, gaming, and board gaming sort of place, and somewhere for all my businesses, biznai. With the announcements at CitizenCon for the release of Squadron 42, do you expect we'll get a playable demo? But this is an interesting one. Chris Roberts comes from the era of playable demos, yeah? And demos being a huge portion of the hype, reviews, and potential sales for your game. Now, this could be funny as well. If there is a demo for Squadron 42, all the sort of trolls and people that were talking about Squadron 42, pretending they knew stuff about Squadron 42 Prelude, they're like, oh, this is the Prelude that we talked about. It's actually a demo. That'll be a funny one. I think there's a possibility they'd run a demo, right? So Chris is from the era of it. It'd be cool if they did. More games need more demos, right? I suppose the only demo they'd need to do would be like free access to Arena Commander. There you go. When Arena Commander's in a really good state, right? It's kind of good. Kind of good now. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you very much. I'm Star Citizen Old Blood now. There's SDL Youngblood. I don't even know if he makes Star Citizen videos anymore. I just looked through a load of the old people I used to watch a reasonable amount of, like SDL and Graded Gamer and people, and I was like, oh, I'm like one of the last originals left. There's still a few. What's the state of Vulkan in the game? So I keep on expecting it from each patch. So they sort of put little bits of it getting ready for Vulkan and the Gentile renderer updates in, and it looks like Vulkan could literally go live with any update. Might go live with 3.23. It's possible. It's soon. It is soon. It's definitely this year. It's almost certainly 3.23 or 4.0, assuming that 4.0 is after 3.23. But it will be after it, but assuming it's contiguously after it. Can you please touch on the importance of clearing shaders with patches? So, if you are updating Star Citizen with a new minor patch, or any form of update where you're updating from the launcher, and you've already got, and you're not installing it fresh, you want to, after it's updated, delete your user/shader folder, because you want Star Citizen to rebuild their shaders and not use the old stuff, because that can cause problems. It can cause crashes, it can cause instability, it can cause weird graphic stuff, and performance issues. When it suddenly needs to rebuild the shaders when it's not expecting it needed to. Or stuff doesn't match. But delete them. Do it. Tells you at the top of the patch notes. I keep on saying it. It's important. You might not have any problems not doing it. You might have tons of problems not doing it. 3.23 will hopefully be as amazing as it's hoped to be, but can the servers handle it? So, replication layer, I think, is the main problem that we'll have when they turn it on. That could cause catastrophic issues. But, again, vigorous testing and stuff like that. And it might come hand in hand with server meshing at the same time, which might increase the problems that could occur. And some obviously will occur. And hopefully they'll get a lot of it ironed out during the PTU phase. I'm confident on 3.23's ability to be pretty refined and not have major problems like 3.18. Like, quite genuinely. And they're going to be doing loads of testing as well. They've got the April release at the moment. They don't have to release effectively for 2 months. When you do get the patch, make sure you clear your shaders folder. Is the game still broken for left-hand mouse users? Well, you can rebind everything, right? And with all the new gunnery changes and everything, I doubt it could be. I don't know, because I'm right-handed. I don't know the issues with the left-handed use. How's your health been? Still trying to lose weight? Yes. So, yesterday I hit One Punch Man level. What I mean by that is I'm able to get 100 squats, 100 press-ups, 100 sit-ups done in a day, and a 9.2 kilometer run, because that fits nicely within a time frame for me. 10 kilometers technically is what you're supposed to do. It's the One Punch Man workout routine, which is very doable each day with my sort of lifestyle. But yeah, so reasonable on the sort of exercise front. I eat terribly. So, though I don't have too much sugar or anything like that, I just eat a lot of fat and carbs and processed foods, because I'm sort of been so, especially with me being relatively busy and tired recently. That's something I'm going to try and work on, be a bit more sensible with that. Did they change the schedule for the Idris mission? Tried to play yesterday but couldn't find a server with the event on. So I've been having the same sort of issue with the Idris stuff. So does anyone know if there are NPC versions of those Wargame Idrises, or if it is only spawned by CIG devs? How does it feel to get back to one chin? It feels great. Although, the right angle. I mean, I always had one chin. It was just the chin was growing into my chest. Yeah, I haven't not had much success finding the Idris missions, the Idris Wargames. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, well, hopefully I can, if I can get my diet sorted, I'll be good. I think I'll be able to get my diet sorted a bit better when I start sleeping better. Do you like Star Wars? Meh. I love Star Trek. Not so much some of the newer stuff, like Next Generation. Absolutely love. And that era, so like Deep Space Nine and Voyager. Really, really love. I like the Star Trek universe as well. Star Wars, I think it's a cool universe. Not as into it. Yeah, could leave it. I haven't watched any of The Mandalorian. That's where we sort of are. I've only watched the first one of the new saga. The newest with Rey in it and stuff. Like, not hugely into it. Don't hate it. I played a load of Battlefront though. I really enjoyed that. I played a load of the old Jedi PvP games. I thought they were really good fun. I like first-person shooter stuff. Have you seen the announcement for Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, bringing the original 2 games the new generation of consoles, updating it for PC. I will look at that, because that sounds cool. I won a F8 Platinum by myself. Awesome. That's amazing to hear. Did you tell me that before? That's gone well over my head if you had. Congratulations on that. That's amazing. Is Power World an alpha? Is early access. I wouldn't deem it alpha. It is early access. It's a very connected game. It's got some stuff that is missing. The storyline doesn't make a huge amount of sense beyond reading entries and then going, okay, there's some form of, I've defeated some form of boss, what? Very cool and very fun, whatever. It is an MMO light. So an MMO, effectively, you can play entirely by yourself on your own little server or with a few friends in your own world. Awesome. My first question, I meant, do you think they'll do events catered to solo players where you can actually win things of value? And the last two big events, most solos had no hope in hell of winning. Yeah, so I think you could do stuff like with, okay, say there's Siege of Orison type events where you all need to work together towards a goal, but there's also a load of very valuable stuff you could also find on the way, right? There could be like some hidden caches and things like that. I mean, and yeah, as people have said, some people do win these F8s and these platinum things solo. It is harder. It is 100% harder. But yes, I do think there will be some that are catered to solo players, and some that will be like battle royale type situations where only one person can win, right? Any progress on new ships mentioned? Last I saw was a white box of the Zeus cockpit. So they're obviously working on things like the Polaris and the Zeus and a load of other vehicles. The 10 they showed at the end of that CitizenCon. I think like an updated Retaliator. Well, probably the cargo version of it, but it could be the modular one, which sort of is the cargo one as well. But yeah, some hover bikes and stuff like that. We'll get something new or some new things for 3.23. Don't know exactly what. And they're obviously working through that list. They haven't given us much in the way of ship updates, though, since CitizenCon. Yeah, so the press release basically said it's a dev-spawned mission. Dev Idris's, like the platinum ticket stuff with the F8s. But I wasn't 100% sure if there's also going to be NBC Wargame Idris's flying around as well, because I haven't seen any. Do you experience the most weight loss from workout or diet? When I was on keto, from keto, 100%. At the moment, because my diet's bad, it's all exercise. I've got a treadmill. I do around 40 minutes on a day, and the rest of it is just sit-ups, push-ups, squats. So is the one punch workout a balanced training? So no, it does miss out on stuff. It is training that you can do in your home without any additional equipment. Is the idea. So I do have an org. I've got a BoredGamer org. So we don't really use it, but it's going to be for social connection more than anything, and organising some group events, things like that, for fun or whatever. We will start playing regularly as a community. It's sort of a community org, a community in game as well, in the not too distant future, quite genuinely. And it gets in to start planning that. Also, modularity this year with the Retaliator release? Maybe. So, okay, they're going to get out the resource network / engineering gameplay first, because they want physicalized components for it. So after that, then they can start building the more expanded modularity. Could we have it by this year? Potentially. As I said to boost frequency, not all Idris M's are piloted by developers. You may encounter an Idris packed with FPS AI waiting for you to board and take over. Thank you. That's great to hear, because I didn't know for sure. I've not seen them. So, okay, so there are. Thank you very much for that. Do you think the new engineering gameplay will encourage more multi-crew gameplay? It'll make it, yes, yeah, 100%, because it gives you the reason, a much more expanded multi-crew gameplay experience, and then all the combat updates they're doing as well with turrets and precision targeting and all that sort of stuff also add to it. But it also means you've got physical components and subsystems to target and that sort of jazz. Alright, Yorg, I'm gonna have to check. Probably. Whenever base building does come out, are you up for building a base where it has no right to survive? Just for shits and giggles. Yeah, we'll do loads of stuff like that. Like when Star Citizen has more gameplay to it, I want to do a lot of fun, dumb things as well. Because I want to make videos. So I want to be doing multiple things in Star Citizen. I want to be successful at the game. I want to, and particularly in the industry and making money in game stuff. But I also want to make videos and silly things. I want to play Star Citizen a lot. I'm going to do a lot and explore what the engine and what we can do, whether it be dumb or not, in Star Citizen. So, how long can you fall in a cavern before you die? Can you survive this jump? Can you do this? How long can you swim for? Lots of dumb stuff. Build a base on somewhere that's incredibly dangerous, that it will explode at some point, for some reason. Just hide something. Say, look, I hope you're allowed to write notes with codes on it. So I'd literally hide a note somewhere with the persistent anti-streaming stuff, like under a rock or something. Say, look, this is a code. Email me this with this code, and you get big ship for free. Amazing treasure hunts you could do, right? Give some clues. CIG had some, with the original Benny's Henge stuff, they had some interesting clues to find it. I think they fixed the visual issues inside the MPU cargo pod. At some point, yes. Hopefully for 3.23. Thoughts on the latest Inside Star Citizen? I'm very disappointed about how they are gaslighting the potential and reasoning of Mastermind, completely missing the point and ignoring its many flaws. Okay, so if you look on some of the dev responses and Spectrum and stuff, they've talked a bit more about this as well. So I don't feel like they're gaslighting. They're not gaslighting. But what they are saying is, look, we want a streamline experience, because that's what allows us to bring the vision of Star Citizen actually to reality. And we can help evolve master modes. So let's get involved with it, try it out, and give feedback on it, even if that feedback is go this direction. Not scrap it all, because that's, well, I mean, you could have that opinion, and if you can justify that, cool. There are concerns that the skill ceiling won't be too high, and that the skill floor is pushed up so much that it makes everything too easy, and it's all loadout based rather than skill based. Because you want a skill based dogfight, right? Although loadout is important, it shouldn't be just I just win because it's 2% skill, 98% loadout. A lot of people aren't going to enjoy the arcadey experience of flying as much. I'd say a lot more will, but because you get to see the ships, you get to it's very pretty. But does that make a fun sort of game with a lot of depth when it comes to dogfighting? Hopefully there will be. I just think that we need to talk about it, we need to try it, we need to give feedback on it. And what they said inside Star Citizen isn't necessarily how it feels when you're actually using it and trying out master modes. Because because a lot of people seem to have come away from Inside Star Citizen saying, CIG saying something completely different now, and I hate the idea of this. And I was like, well, try it. And some of the stuff that sort of they said there, it was sort of more general. Oh yeah, we want it to be good. we just want the system to be good, and this is the direction we want it to go in. And that direction is still to be hasn't been fully determined yet. So testable in 3.22.1 master modes and targeting and everything. They are trying to make larger ships basically have a higher time to kill. Fighters aren't as effective against big ships, but they can certainly do stuff in wings against them, blow off turrets and stuff. They're sort of making that targeting system more accessible to people. It's less pixel hunty. Is it going to be as competitive? Potentially not, but it might be. It might be still some other high sort of high-end stuff you can do there. So I'm interested to know how being left-handed affects your Star Citizen experience with the way everything flies. Disregarding cargo capacity, what's your favourite ship for cargo running? Disregarding cargo, but the fastest. Probably Hull C. At the moment, realistically. Look, I want to do hauling with it. It's going to be interesting to see how does it just have a significant advantage over other ships for hauling, because you can just go to the loading, unloading area and it just sort of does it automatically. And whereas other ones you're going to have to load and unload manually in 3.23, right? I'm actually looking forward to doing things with my org as well. For years, I've been pretty lazy. What nights would you book a hotel for CitizenCon minimum? 19th and 20th. Yeah. So, if you want to go to whatever there's supposed to be there's supposed to be a limited availability event on the 18th as well. Probably some sort of concierge event, potentially some sort of VIP tour or something like that. If you think you're going to get in for that, then also book on the 18th. But you'll always try and add that later if you get the opportunity. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be also booking on the 18th. Even if they're just visiting Manchester, there'll be a bar citizen, right? Day before. Don't get me wrong, the archetypes are good, the weapon adjustments are good, but it has nothing to do with the modes. The physics off mode is bullshit and changes nothing. Reading the tons of feedback. Okay, I mean, yeah, again, some of the stuff potentially needs a good amount of refinement, or might not be what they should do. So. You think holsters will have bonuses attached, like a quick draw holster? There's certainly going to be outfits and equipment and wearables that will give you effectively bonuses or improve your stats or give you additional functionality. Like there's going to be armor that's more suited for combat. There's going to be those dynamic crosshairs with combat suits and visors. There's going to be suits specifically for scanning or more mining or medical stuff, right? So maybe. I'm doing well. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to stop streaming relatively soon because I want to get a video out. I also want to have a nap. And I've got a phone call booked with a mortgage advisor in a second, so I better dash off in a second. But yes. I'm hoping people are enjoying 3.22.1. I'm sorry I'm streaming at weird times and days at the moment, sort of on and off. But I do appreciate people turning up, asking some questions, saying hello, donating, and becoming members and stuff is genuinely appreciated as well. But if you've got any feedback and stuff, then please send me an email. rich@boredgamer.co.uk or contact@boredgamer.co.uk will actually get through to me and I'll know what it's for. Or you can get me on my Discord, discord.gg/boredgamer. Yeah. Am I concerned that the Capture the Idris event is going to be mainly focused on large groups and streamers? Yeah, because I mean it certainly favours them, but it's not entirely about them. Yeah, thank you very much. Good luck with the mortgage indeed. I appreciate it. I will keep people apprised of my house hunting trip. Would you raid Astropub? Yes, I will raid Astropub Sketch Therapy. Of course I will. I love the boy. I don't normally stream on Saturdays. So not really double check, make sure he's actually online. But yes. /raid. He's a good lad. But yeah. I suspect there's going to be a load of streamers on today trying to capture the Idris and having fun with that. So I'm not going to have time today to play. Tomorrow we'll see if we can get some games in. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Genuinely appreciated. Hope you're enjoying all that CIG have to offer. Really looking forward to engineering being tested in 3.23 in that experimental mode, and just the ridiculous amount of features that 3.23 has. Wow. And I hope to see some of you at CitizenCon later in the year. Hopefully I'll be going. but that's the plan. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching.